Governments are humanity's longest-running group project, and just like all group projects, everyone swears they're the one doing it right. Since the dawn of civilization, humans have been obsessed with one impossible question. Who gets to tell everyone else what to do, and how do we make it sound fair? We've invented ideologies, written constitutions, toppled kings, and still, every few years, someone somewhere says, maybe I should be in charge. So here they are, 9 modern ways humans have tried to organize themselves, each one convinced it's the best, while secretly borrowing from the others. 1. Democracy, the great debate club. Democracy is like a never-ending family dinner where everyone's invited to argue, and nobody ever leaves the table. On paper, it's beautiful. Power to the people. In practice, it's power to whoever screams loudest on social media. We believe in freedom of speech. Then stop talking. I'm speaking. Democracy thrives on disagreement. It's powered by the idea that collective chaos somehow leads to collective wisdom. You get to vote, debate, protest, and meme your leaders into submission. The problem? Everyone wants a voice, but few want to listen. So democracy becomes a juggling act, balancing freedom, fairness, and the faint hope that your neighbor actually voted responsibly. Still, despite its noise, democracy remains the closest thing we have to crowdsourced sanity. Second Republic. Democracy with a dress code. If democracy is the raw town square, the Republic is that same crowd wearing suits. It's democracy's cooler, more organized cousin, the one that says, let's not trust everyone. Let's elect a few smart people to decide for everyone. In a republic, the people rule through representatives. It's a filter system because, let's face it, if we voted on every single issue directly, half the world would have free pizza Fridays and banned taxes by now. Citizen, wait, so I vote for someone to vote for me. Politician, exactly. Now please don't ask who funds my campaign. Republics thrive on structure. You get constitutions, checks and balances, and televised arguments that look sophisticated but are mostly performance art. It's democracy, but with more paperwork and slightly better lighting. 3. Monarchy, the family business. Once upon a time, power came from divine right, and it conveniently stayed in the family. Monarchies were the original nepotism dynasties. You didn't earn power, you inherited it, like a suspiciously convenient gene for leadership. My father ruled wisely, therefore I must also be wise. Sir, you just declared war on Belgium because they sneezed. Today, most monarchies are symbolic. The kings and queens wave, cut ribbons, and give speeches about unity while parliaments quietly run the show. They're basically national mascots, royal influencers funded by taxes. Yet, monarchies persist because they make nations feel anchored, like history itself never quite ended. And let's admit it, nobody throws a wedding quite like royalty. 4. Dictatorship, the solo player mode. If democracy is everyone shouting, dictatorship is one person with the mute button. A dictator's motto, why debate when I can decide? Power here isn't voted for. It's taken, held tightly, and usually defended by men in sunglasses who never smile. Dictatorships love parades, slogans, and rewriting history, especially the part about how they got there. The people love me. Sir, those are cardboard cutouts. The scary part? Many dictators start with good intentions, promising stability, progress, or greatness. But absolute power is like sugar, addictive and destructive in large amounts. And soon, what began as I'll fix the country turns into the country is mine. 5. Theocracy, God as head of state. Theocracy is what happens when religion and politics swipe right on each other. Here, divine law outranks human law. The rulers claim authority from above, and questioning them can sound like questioning heaven itself. Why was this law passed? Because God said so. When? Through me. Yesterday. Theocracies promise moral clarity. The idea that if everyone follows the same sacred code, society will stay pure. But the challenge is interpretation. Humans have a habit of disagreeing, even about divine instructions. The result is often less about holiness and more about who gets to define it. Still, to many, theocracy feels comforting because when human leaders fail, divine ones never lose elections. 6. Communism, the shared dream. Communism began as a radical idea. What if no one owned anything and everyone shared everything? In theory, beautiful. In practice, confusing. From each according to his ability to each according to his need. Okay, but who decides how much need I need? Communism wanted to erase class. No rich, no poor, just unity. But somewhere between the manifestos and the revolutions, it turned into bureaucracy and suspicion. Leaders claimed equality, but somehow always had better cars. Workers shared everything except power. Yet the heart of communism still beats. The dream of a world without exploitation, where humanity serves humanity. It just never quite figured out how to run a grocery store without running out of bread. 7. Socialism, the middle ground. Socialism walks into the room between capitalism and communism and says, can we just chill? It believes the state should care, that basic needs like education, healthcare, and safety nets aren't luxuries, but rights. Everyone deserves a fair shot, says socialism. But can we still have billionaires? Asks capitalism. Maybe just fewer of them. Socialism is the compromise. Let markets run, but make sure nobody's starving in the process. It's equality without abolishing ambition. Fairness without force. Of course, critics say socialism slows innovation, rewards laziness, or breeds inefficiency. But supporters argue, what's the point of progress if half the population can't afford to enjoy it? 8. Oligarchy, the exclusive club. Oligarchy isn't a system, it's a vibe. It's what happens when power goes private, but keeps pretending it's public. A few people run everything, but everyone else is told they're free. It's like being invited to a democracy, but someone forgot to tell you the guest list is closed. Citizen. Who decides national policy? Oligarch. We do, but we call it a consultative panel. Sounds friendlier. Citizen. Can I join? Oligarch. After your net worth adds 2 more zeros. Oligarchy doesn't wear a crown or wave flags. It wears suits, owns media companies, and funds campaigns with donations that come with invisible strings. Journalist. Why do all your companies win government contracts? Oligarch. Because we're efficient. Journalist. Efficient at what? Oligarch. Networking. You don't vote for oligarchs. They're already there, sipping espresso in boardrooms above the city skyline, choosing who runs for office next year. The system thrives on illusion. The people believe they're free. The oligarchs believe they're chosen. And both are technically correct, just not in the same way. Politician. We serve the people. Oligarch. Yes, but who serves you dinner at our fundraiser tonight? Politician. Fair point. What's on the menu? Oligarch. Policies. Oligarchy isn't evil. It's just the natural endgame of wealth-meeting politics. It's what happens when influence compounds faster than income tax. And the irony? It can live inside any other system. Democracy, communism, monarchy, like a quiet parasite in a loud host. Because as long as money equals access, and access equals power, the same invisible few will keep whispering up from behind the curtain. Don't worry, we'll handle it, and they usually do, for a price. 9. Anarchy, the anti-government government. Anarchy is what happens when everyone's allergic to authority. No rulers, no masters, just pure self-governance. It sounds like chaos, but true anarchists argue it's order without oppression. Who's in charge here? No one. So who makes the laws? We all do. And how's that going? We're still discussing it. Anarchy imagines a world where people cooperate because they want to, not because they're forced to. A society built on trust instead of control. The catch? Humans can barely agree on pizza toppings, let alone public policy. Still, anarchy serves a purpose, reminding us that every government, no matter how structured, owes its legitimacy to the consent of the governed. Every government form is a reflection of human nature. Ambitious, idealistic, flawed. Democracy trusts people too much. Dictatorship doesn't trust them at all. Communism wants equality, capitalism wants growth, and anarchy just wants everyone to stop bossing everyone else around. And through it all, the same paradox remains. We want freedom, but also order. We crave justice, but also comfort. We despise power, yet constantly chase it. Maybe there's no perfect system because there's no perfect species running it. Every government is just humanity trying, failing, adjusting, a civilization-sized experiment in managing our collective chaos. So next time you roll your eyes at politics, remember, it's not the system that's broken. It's just us doing what we've always done, trying to rule the world without ruling ourselves first.